Nobody expected this late season push from the Texas Rangers. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Bad for Baseball, the baddest baseball podcast on the internet. I'm your host, Adam Peddle, joined alongside by Nicholas Paleolog. The Texas Rangers, for the most part of this season, looked done and dusted. It looked like they were old. It looked like their veterans were aging, and they didn't have a lot to build off of that offense that was so good 2 years ago. But now there's starting to be some life in Texas. They're starting to emerge as one of the leaders in the AL and might even be fighting for a wild card. We're going to talk about what's going right for them and can they sustain it. Before we do, make sure to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button. We both thought they were done, and then I was even saying, man, we got to honestly investigate 2023. Because like, how the hell does this offense go from being so overly dominant, especially with runners in scoring position, to what they were doing this year, Nick? It was crazy.
Yeah, looking over at the standings right here, Texas is very much in this thing. Now, granted, the last 10 hasn't been great. They're 4-6, but prior to that, they were on another level, and they've really brought themselves back into this race. They're 1.5 games back of that wild card, and honestly, I think a big tie-in to all of this is just the horrendous play that has been happening in New York for those New York Yankees. Yeah. I don't think that we would be making this podcast right now had there not been this recent collapse over there in New York. I know that they're also 4-6, but their 4-6 looks a hell of a lot worse than the 4-6 that Texas has had recently, and Texas delivered it to the Yankees in a recent series. So as it stands right now, that final spot in the wild card, I think it is very much up for grabs. And honestly, like Texas, with the way that they're built, the way that their roster is just constructed, they got a very solid shot, I think.
They do. Also, one note on that Yankees thing, they have the same amount of wins as the White Sox since like June 1st. It's crazy.
That's what I'm talking about, right? Like, we wouldn't be having this podcast right now if that wasn't going on.
Yeah, exactly, right? But hey, the door is open for these Rangers, and looking over at their roster right now, you can see what the clear strength is here on this roster. It's pitching. First in ERA, second in relief pitching, and obviously that's been a total 180 of their power, in terms of their team power from the 2023 season, where pitching was one thing that was their Achilles heel. Like, they needed to survive when they got to the 6, 7, 8 in that bullpen. Now it's totally flipped. The offense is the problem, but they have been a lot better lately. Overall in the season, they've got an OPS of 27, ranked in all of baseball, 23rd in runs scored. But if you look over in the last 30 days, they're mid. They're right there in the middle. 15th in all of baseball in terms of OPS. So they're starting to get some life, and they're getting the contributions from the guys in the middle of that lineup.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I think that with a team like this, when you do have the first-ranked starting pitchers, and also, too, you back it up with a bullpen. I mean, like, you only need an average offense. Like, they can get, I mean, let's face it, right? They've gotten by this whole season being the, 28th ranked offense in all of baseball. And they're still within, a shouting distance of a wild card spot. So if they can be average, then they should theoretically surge. Looking at some of the guys that are doing it right now, you got Corey Seager, and you needed to see it. The dude started the year. I don't know if he started the year. No,
he started the year cold, didn't he?
Well, he started. I was going to say he started the year on the IL, but that's actually not true. He started healthy, then immediately went on the IL and was on the IL for a while, and then he came back, and then since then he's definitely been ramping it up, and he is such a key contributor for those Texas Rangers. Like, that guy, when he is on, MVP candidate, he's starting to cook. Last 30 days, 891 OPS. Wyatt Langford right there with him. He is starting to cook as well. Even Adolis Garcia, even though the power isn't necessarily there, right? Or, excuse me, not the power. The contact's not there right now. He is contributing with 6 home runs. So they're getting contributions right now throughout the lineup. And it's just like that little bit is enough when you have a pitching staff like they do.
Yeah, they needed just a little bit, right? Josh Young as well, contributing. Wyatt, like you said, Wyatt Langford, even Rowdy Tellez, who they got and they picked up, is starting to contribute just a little bit. That's all they need. Be an average offense and give this disgusting pitching staff a chance, and they are truly disgusting. And the fact that at the trade deadline, they went and they added, and like you said before the podcast, they tripled down on how good their pitching has been, because one of the guys they got is Merrill Kelly, and Merrill Kelly looks like one of the worst pitchers in this rotation when you look at everybody else. Jacob deGrom having a renaissance year. Granted, lately he's been kind of cold. He's got like a 5+ ERA in the last 30 days, but that's okay because you're getting contributions from guys like Patrick Corbin, Nathan Eovaldi, who's literally, I mean, he's not qualified for the ERA apparently, even though he's got 4 less starts than everybody else. But he's got a disgusting stats on the season. He's got a 138 ERA, whip under 0.85. I'll even go as low as that. That's freaking amazing. This staff is carrying right now, and now that they added Merrill Kelly, it feels like they're going to have to ride this staff to the postseason and into the postseason if they make it.
It's wild that they went out and they got Merrill Kelly, because that was, I would argue, to be the biggest starting pitcher acquisition at the deadline. We obviously got to see what Shane Bieber can do for those Toronto Blue Jays, but I mean, I think just from a safety standpoint, Merrill Kelly is the guy, and he has been phenomenal. So to have that as your 4th, 5th pitcher in this rotation is absolutely absurd. Even Jack Leiter, who is technically their worst guy, he's 91st ranked overall on the season, and he's got a 4.05 ERA over 100 innings. I would happily take that guy and put him in my rotation, my favorite team's rotation, any day of the week, and have that be your 5th pitcher? Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it's insane. And like their 5th pitcher in the last 30 days is starting to play like a solid number 2 with a 3.24 ERA.
Same thing with Patrick Corbin, right?
Yeah.
Patrick Corbin back from the dead. Like, this is the corpse of Patrick Corbin that they are working with right now, and yet even he is contributing. So to have that, them still performing at this top level, and then also too looking at that bullpen, adding in Phil Maton, who we both wanted. We were looking at him for a long time on the Toronto Blue Jays. We really wanted the Toronto Blue Jays to go out and trade for him. Texas went, they got him. Very good guy right there. And then Danny Coulomb with a 1.06 ERA. Like, those are significant additions.
Yeah, it's huge. And look, you know, like the Blue Jays like to do, they like to double down on their strengths. They did the same thing right here. Now, the big key for them to go and make a run at the actual wild card is they got to keep getting contributions from this lineup. Like, they had a big series against the Yankees. They beat them 2 out of 3. Unfortunately, they got swept earlier in the year, so they won't have the tiebreaker. That could be critical down the stretch for those Texas Rangers and Yankees if they're fighting for a wild card spot. But still, they had some big offensive performances right here from Josh Young with a big hit in the final inning. So you got to keep that up, and if they do, they might have a chance. What do you think about the Texas Rangers' chance of actually making a wild card this year?
Can you pull up their schedule real quick just to get a sense as to the level of the competition that they got to face? So they beat the Yankees. That's obviously awesome. You're going to have Phillies who are really, really difficult. Arizona's kind of, mid at this point. Blue Jays, they're no walkover. They're very, very good.
Best team in the AL.
Kansas City, they should theoretically be easy. Cleveland's always tricky. Angels should be easy. Athletics are sneaky, but you should win. And then this looks to be okay. You got Astros, you got Brewers. You got a bit of a gauntlet here in that last in the last month right here. Marlins, Twins, Guardians to finish is pretty nice, but that first part of August is difficult. It is a tough schedule for them. But I think that honestly, like, I like their chances right now probably better than the Yankees, just because the Yankees feel like they have so many innate problems. And I'm like, what is really the strength over there? Like, what is like
Aaron Judge?
Yeah, like that's
and he's hurt. They rushed him back, and I think that's going to be really counterintuitive for the Yankees.
Yeah, like, I don't know what I can hang my hat on for them, where it's like with the Rangers, I can hang my hat on your pitching and your starters and your bullpen. With the Blue Jays, I can hang my hat on your average and your on-base, capabilities, right? With the Tigers, it's like, oh, well, you got Tarek Skubal and a great rotation there, and then also you get key contributions from people like Riley Green. With the Yankees, I just don't know where, I don't know
what I'm looking at here.
Like, where I'm like, oh, yes, that thing is awesome. I
Yeah.
get like first in OPS is incredible, but like that hasn't been the case recently. So
Yeah.
I actually think I like the Texas Rangers to knock the New York Yankees out of the postseason this year. It is going to take a lot because their schedule is very, very tough, like we just saw. But they got the momentum, they got the pieces, and I just think that they're better built than New York is right now.
I completely agree. Like, other than, because obviously I like the Seattle Mariners deadline a lot. They're like my number one winners, and I think that they're locked in for a wild card unless they collapse. Boston has been looking sneakily good. Like, I don't know how they're doing it after everything that's been happening this season. So other than those guys, I think it's all up for grabs. To be fair, like, Guardians are here, but they're not really a threat if you're really thinking about it. They're getting hot at the right time. They play good baseball. They can hang their hat on that. They play fundamentally sound baseball. The Yankees don't. I like the Rangers to go and take that spot as well. And if that happens, that'll be quite an interesting postseason. Lots of interesting new faces in this year for the AL.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, and for those New York fans out there, like, they would just be losing it. But folks, let us know your thoughts about all this in the comments down below. Do you guys think Texas, has what it takes to make a little bit of a run? Please make sure to hit that like, smash that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and we will catch you next time.
Cheers.